All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Materia D&D, where we play D&D our way. This is session 121,
Nope.
and Vecna...
Nope.
No, 122. Sorry. Yeah, Lord. I was talking about recap for 121. 122, and just for fun, Vecna from the Dossiers is trash.
Yeah, I saw that Treant Monk
So
video.
bad. So easy. Um, yeah, I question their design on their own game. But hey, that's why we play D&D our way, and
Yep.
we design it the way we like to design it. So yeah, 121 happened last week. Our good man Sej and Ragnar were both out, but they were being Jaegered by the team. Didn't stop our roll and didn't stop the menagerie from leaving the Crack Checkers camp, aka the kobold used to be swayed by the influence of the green dragon that is called the Snoring Mountain home for hundreds of years now, to have to leave their camp and head back to the Stranglebark, a portion of the high pine forest that is come to the influence of the green dragon, becoming extremely thorny and dangerous and humid and damp and suffocating, essentially. However, the crack checkers have agreed, and actually, excitingly, with a lot of gusto, let's put it, were sent 40 or so of their kobolds to come along with the menagerie to help them in their roundabout 5-day trek back into the heart, well, not necessarily the heart, but into the Stranglebark, where they believe they remember the entrance of the Despoiler of Greed, or Despoiler of Virtues, aka the Green Dragon, entrances. They made fairly good travel, keeping each other spirits up, avoiding a lot of the potential natural dangers and exaggerated dangers here in the Stranglebark. And they made it within about, like I said, 5 days to where they think they should be, expedited heavily by their little kobold escorts. While there, and after having a brief discussion with the kobolds, that they had fulfilled their obligation. Obligation is probably too strong of a word, but that they really, the menagerie stressed that they didn't want the kobolds to risk their lives for this. That this is a fight that the menagerie will take care of, or attempt to take care of. And the kobolds didn't necessarily agree with that, but out of respect for the menagerie and admiration and love for Sej, the food man, they agreed. Agreed. Quotes. While the kobolds went away, they actually remained hidden in the trees and the vines and everywhere, keeping an eye on their dear friends. It was a good thing, because as the menagerie were trying to figure out what their next moves would be, how to locate the entryway to the Green Dragon's lair, the kobolds actually spotted these grotesquely formed humanoid, green-scaled dragonoid-like creatures with long extended limbs, scaly braids coming from each side of their heads. Their skin, while scaled, resembled that melted stone-like flesh texture that seemingly found the menagerie and had a target, and that target was Sej. Playing a little bit of Protect the VIP, the kobolds and the menagerie managed to stop the 7 half-dragon draconoids, whatever you want to call them, that came down. If our memory serves me right, Dragnar and Davis and Al really set up. Well, actually, everyone set them up, but Rock did some cool setup, and then but eventually Karos like killed like 5 of them or 4 of them in one turn because they were all so low. Smack, 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 smack. And they all came falling from the treetops and the canopies and that, getting caught in vines and smashing hard into the forest floor. So we pick up now. Sej, you are but moments away from completing your locate creature. Was it locate creature that you're find the path? Your find the path materia version, so it doesn't require concentration because why would it? Spell. Pretty quick recap. But,
Adam, 2 things for the recap, if it's possible.
Yeah.
I saw 3 key points were spent. Was that because of flurry of blows?
Mostly, I think.
Stunning?
No,
stunning strikes are free.
3 stunning strikes. Oh.
Remember, it was for your it was for flurry of blows, and maybe it might have been
a the wind or something, maybe.
Something.
Just wanted to make sure, and then also I couldn't remember if I heard this correctly on the stream, but did somebody summon some coins from the Dragon's Lair?
Yes.
Yes, that's true.
Also, the
maybe
meditations as well. Don't forget.
The what?
The meditations as well might be one of the you might want
Yeah.
to remember.
Honestly, sure. I don't even remember what all the meditations were at this point.
Okay.
It was weakness. That one, right?
I remember them. I remember what they were. Yeah, but I was wondering. I couldn't remember if I heard correctly because I had a 1.75 speeding when I was driving to work. So I was like, "Did I hear that right?"
Yeah. So not necessarily part of the recap, but part of the recap now. Rock and brought Al in to communicate with his bag of devouring. Al did not like it at all.
Do not want.
Do not want ever again.
No thanks.
Thanks. But Rock promised the bag a very grand feast if it would help them, and it coughed up some of the coins that it had consumed in the Dragon's Lair the first time y'all have been there.
Okay, because whenever we start, I want to make a comment about that. So just let me know.
Somewhere in the world, somewhere in the world is a big bad evil guy that we're just making. Sorry, guys.
I mean, he's on another entirely other here between of existence. You're fine. Realm of existence. Yeah, you're good.
Definitely not had things from other dimensions attack us before.
No, not at all.
We certainly never gone to any others.
Yeah, I mean, there would be a lot more of it if, my initial story didn't freak out and make a lot of my players uncomfortable with all the Eldritch stuff. So
I'd say more Eldritch stuff.
Yeah, I liked it. You guys are all wimps.
Yes,
Yeah.
admit I will own the wimp.
I get it. It has to be for everybody. So I'm still sprinkling it in where I can, just in not so body dysmorphia or whatever you want to call it, body morph horror.
I say
We
we
just have more
summon
owl-based-
Cthulhu.
More owl-based tentacles.
Yes.
That was just fun.
Yeah. All right.
As long as my perfect OC doesn't get more, okay?
Yeah, no. You're playing in a game with me. I've already changed my player's hair color. Jeez.
Oh.
Yeah, and keep that comb away from me.
In fact, he's changed his several different players' hair colors.
Yeah.
Although I guess really I'm the only one who's specifically you changed. Everybody else's was inflicted by another party member, so never mind.
No, I mean Al has definitely gone through some physical changes. Rock's shell has been physically changed.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Yeah, well, you were, and now you've been de-aging over time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Benjamin Button.
He's Benjamin Buttoning, that's right.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So yeah, let's get the music rolling and let's get you boys figuring out what you're doing. So, 1 second.
Time of day, I think it was like late afternoon, early evening or something when this started. Is that right?
Late afternoon. Wait, now I gotta remember.
I mean, it was part of the hike.
The hike going back up, going there.
Yeah, and then we were trying to figure out a way up.
And then you guys were saying, wait, are we gonna sleep on it?
Yep. And I think the find the path thing was like contingent upon. I guess it lasts for 24 hours, so it doesn't really matter. There's no like
Yeah.
you don't need to like
So-
plan sleep.
Did you mention that it's find the path materia? Did you make a new one?
It's in the
I
doc. Should be.
It's in the doc. If I didn't make it in Roll20, that's just one. That's an oversight on my part. But basically, it's in the doc, and all the only difference, seriously, the only difference is it doesn't require concentration.
Okay. So it's still a 6th level spell slot?
It's still a strong spell, and it's still that very vague where it says it finds the shortest path possible, not necessarily the safest path. It's the most direct route.
Yeah.
You don't know of anything that's necessarily on the way of the path. Like all that still stays the same.
But you also know how far it is and such. So
Yeah, and the main difference is that it takes it's just 1 day, no concentration, so that way you can technically sleep on it and have it running when you wake up. So I would say it might be kind of hard to sleep with that spell, just active. Maybe. I don't know. I would have to think about it. It's like a constant GPS pinging. Ping.
Yeah.
It's like it's
go
like
here.
when you
Go here.
yeah, it's like when like you refuse to turn right.
Turn.
You don't-
right. Like
Turn right.
Redirecting.
Yeah, recalculating.
Redirect.
Calculating. So yeah.
I have a set
Find the path
voice pack for GPS.
Heck, I would
Oh.
I'd be down for that. All right, let's go back to roll 20. Let's get the
I can't get over that. My friend, you've missed your exit, but that's okay.
We all make mistakes.
Here, let me find that path for you.
I love the stories about people who just blindly trust like it's one thing to like react too slowly and miss your turn, but the people who believe in the GPS so blindly that they like drive into lakes and stuff.
You mean like the
and
office?
just like well, yes,
Office
that's in the
scene.
office, but it's I've seen news articles where somebody's like, "Man drives off pier because Google Maps told him to."
Jeez. Okay, guys. The
Yes.
the last few mutterances of your prayer to find the path. How we gotta read this on it. It doesn't matter, right? It's across. You feel like this little tug at like where your navel would be. This little tug kind of pulling you in a direction. And you know, it's a weird sensation. It's this almost like how migratory birds know when to migrate, or it's like you just kind of know where to go. You can't even explain it. You're like, we just need to go there. I'll know when I get there. Because like, you don't necessarily know, like, oh, we need to pass the third tree on the right where there's a rock that's been cleft into. You know, you don't know those details. You're just
Sixth
And
level spell slot, or is that like
what's that? Yeah, so go ahead and mark it off if it's not already. And as you kind of come out of that, there's that you blink your eyes, knowing where it is, and then you look around you, and the commotion and the chaos, but for that brief moment where you inhaled some of that toxic gas, hadn't really broken your focus. And then you see, and there's Karos with his flail, held in one hand, swinging head ready to go in the next. 4 bodies down on the ground. Dregnar stomping on one of the one's throats so the life leaves the dragonkin. Rock holding on with his claws up in the tree, looking down. Davis and Al close to you, stalwart protecting. and 40 kobolds. Just
I'm on the ground, or I'm wherever Dregnar is. I remember I
Okay,
talked to him at the very end.
got it.
What color is the blood of the dragonoids? The dragonkin?
It's a little hard to make out because of the limited light that is here. But it is crimson.
Okay.
But on a very, very dark, maybe even almost like two-toned, where if you were to wipe it off on some vellum or something and then hold it to the light, that whatever light is able to kind of pierce through the canopy, because it is not like a full blackout canopy up here in here, but it is much darker. It's almost like it two-tones into like a greenish shade.
Sick. Well, Loon got one of the jugulars, so she's covered in it, and I was trying to fix that.
Oh, that's right.
Gosh.
I forgot about that. She critted on the
Really
jugular
bad.
bite. Yeah.
So she's wagging her tail, making the little creepy laughing noises, like, stop that. Stop. You did good, but stop that.
You're covered in viscera. Disgusting.
Brutal, but disgusting.
That was awesome.
Absolutely brutal.
More.
Yes.
Show me more.
So, do you finish? Sedge?
Yes. I.
Good.
Which direction would it be like tugging me towards? Because I don't know where, like,
You guys,
theater of the mind where this picture is. I don't know where it would.
yeah. So essentially, the way you guys kind of walked with your left-hand side for the most part, always facing the mountain, right? Because you guys were traveling west to east, going back into the Stranglebark, and the mountain would be north of you.
That's where. Okay, so we're like edging where we came out of it. That
Yeah,
last
yeah.
time. Got you. I see.
Because you weren't here for Zirik.
We're still edging the mountain then.
Yep.
Right, we were just trying to find where to like start going up, basically.
Yep. All right.
So if we like super, you're basically like, let's just randomly ping, you're at the IG, you're right, the ING portion. Let's randomly.
Got you.
So yeah, you can theater of the mind it as you wish. If you remember, it was going back to this, insanely strangled. Like all the vegetation's overgrown. There's barbs and thickets everywhere. You have to like actually climb up different shelving of the side of the mountains and to get up. And the mountainside on the Stranglebark side, trees. It's kind of like what you see it in like all the old school cartoons and animes, where like trees just kind of grow out of the side of the mountain or out of the side of the cliff, which you don't really see that often. But like they just like emerge from the mountainside. So
What am I feeling as far as like where we're at on the side of the mountain? Is it ready to go up, or do we need to like scale across the mountain a little bit further?
you guys would still need to go up a ways. So as you're kind of taking it in where you were, the trees that are immediately close to you, the large ones that go up, as you're kind of up, Sedge, and kind of getting a feel for that pool, you notice that these trees, while extremely tall, 80 to 100 plus feet, and they're just covered in vines and other trees that have just kind of mashed themselves, like those parasitic trees that have kind of mashed and meshed into this one like column of tree. You realize that the tree isn't that tall compared to the mountain, and then there's like shelves where maybe the dragonkin were able to just basically like walk off the mountain and into the tree, and then work their way down. So yeah, you gotta.
Are the
at least
trees easy enough to climb?
There's a lot of footholds and handhelds. There's gonna be some sharp bits and damp bits and rotten bark bits and stuff. They look like, see the picture? I think that was pretty easy to climb, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm gonna start climbing them like rope, and just relay that on the way, and be like, "There's an easier footpath as long as we stick on the shelf, and we'll have a better view."
Go ahead and give me a very easy athletics check if you wish to climb,
Sure.
because you do not have a natural climbing speed.
I am not a very good climber. God, and
It's
my rolls
so
represent that.
easy.
Can I help him?
Wow.
Like give him a
I already
boost?
rolled, so
Give him a boost.
it's a total of 7.
7. He's struggling. He's going up, but he's going
Excited,
more.
but I'm not going very fast.
Yeah, he's going pretty like it's like for every he goes more lateral than up, and then he kind of goes lateral again, trying to find more footholds. It's like he's overthinking it. I mean, he'll eventually make it up, but sure. I'm just doing it more for like your speed, not more than anything.
Don't judge me. I'm new to this adventuring type. We're not there yet, but we'll have an easier time to travel up there. And we'll have a better view of when we get there. We're almost there. We're almost there.
Adam,
Mm.
can I investigate these dragon creatures, see what they're carrying and what they look like, try to identify exactly? Because I'm assuming I've never seen anything like this.
I can't imagine a reason why you would have ever seen anything like this. Yeah, go for it. Investigate. As Sej is. You look at Sej and you're like, all right, I got about 30 minutes. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Don't think a 5 is going to give me much.
Like what you're gonna glean from them is how do I put it? You know, I gotta use like a horror movie reference or something like that. You know, when you watch a horror movie or you're playing like one of those shock value video games that have horror, and like the things just look like they're forcefully mutated or grafted on or like exposed and stretched. This was not a pretty thing. Their flesh is warped. The features that they have are not completely symmetrical. None of them quite look alike. They all share the greenish hint, like the skin tones and like scaly-like texture, but they look like out of kind of out of like a B-rated horror movie. Like it,
Maybe
Okay.
I'm misremembering, but I feel like, and this is more confirmation for myself, so that if I notice him trying to inspect them,
mhm.
I feel like last game you said that there was, I don't remember who rolled, but I felt like you gave us the hint that we felt like we gathered that there's some hint where we thought maybe these things could be a different version of the greed people, the humanoids, right?
Yeah.
Like,
So I'll reiterate that where the scales are and kind of like just the general texture of patches of their flesh, it very much matches that sickened melted stone texture that the greed rot had. However,
okay.
what's different about these is like their eyes are open, not necessarily very clear, but their eyes are present, and they very much have draconic features. But yes, they very much have the same kind of
Okay.
melted.
I'll point that out to Dragnar and be like, be like, well, they can see, they've got eyes, but point to the parts that look all molded and modeled and stuff, and be like, I don't know if they are the same as the greed rot, but they at least seem to have been twisted through similar means.
And when you say that, you're going to see my eyes kind of like I have an epiphany, and I'm going to call everybody other than Tree Elephant climbing.
Trelephant, if you will.
I'm going to be like, guys, and I'm going to ask Rock, where's one of those coins that you got from the lair?
Here, I'll hand you.
Oh, when he hands it to me, I don't touch it.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
I just bear with me. I'm going off on a tangent here, but remember the sack of gems and jewels that we got that was cursed? Couldn't it be that that sack of gems and jewels may have come from the dragon's lair?
Oh crap.
But
It came from Simon's house.
didn't we get crazy visions and like instant regrets from touching that stuff?
You did. You're
And
the only
I'm
one who touched
touching
it.
this stuff. I kind of just drop it. Ugh. I don't want crazy visions again.
Well, we know that the greed rot is based off of greed, right? And what else is greed based off of, right? It's monetary, it's possessions, it's wealth, it's whatever, right?
Power.
So we already know that the sovereign left this area and went towards Whitlaw. Doesn't mean that maybe he or somebody else dropped that bag along the way. But another thing I was thinking is we figured out how to remove the curse from that. I wonder if we could do something similar for the dragon's lair or maybe those affected by the greed rot.
That's a big area to. I mean, you remember how the last decursing went, right?
That's because you didn't listen to the instructions I gave you.
Well, what
I
did you do?
said you left out the part of where it has to go into another vessel. You did everything but that part, and that's why Tentacle Face happened. And I pointed out.
Tentacle face.
Brown.
I mean, but like we had a sack of gems and stuff. You're talking about like, did you see how much was in that lair? Like water.
I know. I'm just saying, if you guys decide to take something out of there, we know how to get rid of it. But I'm more about, could the similar thing happen to us to remove the greed rot from the creatures that are affected by it if it's a similar same curse? I don't know. I'm just thinking.
Would they have
I
tentacle
mean,
faces?
if it's the same, we did it once. We could do it again, I guess.
Wait a minute, these guys
pull
already
out
have
the
tentacle faces, so they're good. Oh, wait, they're dead though.
Yeah. What about the rest of us? What if we all go 10?
I don't
Never
want to go
again.
tentacle face.
You can have my holy oil, but I'm not. I'm staying further back this time.
I mean, wait. So, but I've been touching this stuff, and someone else touched it. I forget who else touched it.
Sedge.
Sedge, yeah. And Sedge is touching it. Like, what if we're crazy now? What if we don't know we're crazy now?
Would we
Now?
even be able to tell the difference?
What? You would with Sedge.
I think the question is whether or not, if a lord sees a gold piece on the ground, the amount of covetousness they'd have towards it versus somebody who was destitute would be different. It could be that it does prey off on actual greed within the person and amplifies it. The fact that none of us is hurting for.
A point to Sedge, like, he's like a lord or something, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Aren't you?
He's a
He's up in a tree, so I'll just kind of be like, you ever seen a lord climb a
He's
tree?
a lord of the trees.
Lord of. Yeah.
I didn't continue to like climb at this rate, but I'm like looking at all the kobolds around the area, and I'm like, oh yeah. In like basic Draconic, I'm like somewhat shouting, not very loud to like get more enemies, but I'm asking them in basic Draconic if they're all okay, if anybody needs healing.
Confirmation. They're like looking around, they're calling out to each other. You hear little squeaks and little basic roars between them. And a couple of them.
We're
We're good.
amazing.
We're good. They did not expect to settle. So we're good.
Beautiful.
Question. Maybe food man.
Hmm?
What are those? And he points to those green dragon people.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Is this all still in Draconic?
They're speaking Draconic, yeah.
Oh, okay.
In basic Draconic, yeah.
Sure.
At least on my end.
As he keeps like looking down over because he's up there, like you're not like up high. You mostly didn't go anywhere, but he's kind of like up there with you, so he's got to look down.
Yeah, I'm like a couple feet, but I'm like,
Like panting, like
hanging off the tree. Yeah.
Gonna nudge Lin.
Sedge of the
Ask to go help
jungle.
out.
We've never seen them before.
Neither.
They share the same color as our unnatural host. So
Yeah. They do, and they kind of have the same feel to it.
I could only assume that it's unnatural spawn of the one we hunt.
They're gross. They're really, really, really
Indeed.
gross. Anyway, well, we're good. We're glad y'all are okay. We're gonna scout, pan out, make sure you guys are okay. You finished doing what you needed to do, right? Like you were chanting and muttering and blah 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 blah, that type of thing.
My eyes are like looking a little frazzled, and I keep like looking back up towards the mountain. It like I want to go really bad, and it's visible, but I'm staying with the friends. I'm just like staying in the tree. Yes, I finished what I'm doing. We are about to scale the mountain and get on our way.
Damn.
Then lead the way. Let's go.
Yeah, roll a natural 16 on insight. He's like, oh, we got you. We will help. And you see like some of them start climbing up, and they're starting to cut like vines like loose, so they're more easy for you to grab, Sedge. And then another one cuts some vines loose, and they're like, all right, stay, arms up. And you lift your arms up
Yes.
and get Orion. A couple of them like get a vine wrapped around one shoulder, and then wrapped around the other shoulder. Start climbing, and then they basically like, they're kobolds. They're creative. They basically figure out a way to kind of strap you in and make it easier for you to walk up with like a vine harness rope.
Vine pulley.
Heave. Oh. Heave.
Yeah. They helping. They using their tinkering.
Adorable.
Everybody up.
Adam, when he gets to about 60 feet, I'm just going to bamf up there and say, can we move this along faster?
Grab him, throw him down. I mean, he would slow fall, but still. Or actually, do you have that yet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Damn.
It's not quite 12th level. But still like 7th level monk, right?
Yep.
Still decent. Alright. Ooh.
Holy shit, I just noticed that, you know what's crazy? I literally didn't notice it when I took the spell, but Find the Path's spell description has an example in it, like, quote unquote, literally says to find the green dragon's lair.
Yeah, I know.
That's
That's
ridiculous.
why I laugh.
That's so crazily, that's wild. Wow.
Serendipitous, or not serendipitous, I'm sorry for it.
Huh.
Of course,
drawing
that's
a blank.
also in the sentence that says how the spell will fail.
Yeah, well, yeah. I didn't notice that until just now. That's crazy fitting.
It's serendipitous.
It's like I planned it all from the beginning. Alright, now. Is everyone else coming up?
Oh, yeah.
We're blind.
Alright.
I'm gonna notice while moving, like, oh, everybody's here now.
If Al wants help, I'll help.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I'm gonna
anyone?
hop on Lin and fly up.
Oh, shit.
Can, can Al climb?
Don't have to, but
Don't have to. Anyone that doesn't have a climb speed, that's pretty much everybody.
We
But
lost
Al-
our turtle, I think. From boys.
Oh, we did lose our turtle.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, check on him.
Are we athleticing? Is that what we're doing?
Yes.
Okay.
Can
It's
I
not-
just bamf up, or you need me to do athletics as well?
You can, but you're fine.
You
Hey,
essentially have a
Dregnar.
climb speed, even though not quite. Oh, he's back.
While you're bamfing and like when you like spawn on top of me, I'm gonna be like, "Oh, you guys made it, Dregnot. What did I miss down there?"
Oh, I had a kind of an epiphany that maybe we've ran into this greed rot money before. Remember that bag of jewels and gems we had to have uncursed? And then I'll tell you, I'll give you the rest of the story from what I told them.
Yeah, I remember that. We did cure the curse, right? Or did we just leave it buried? I can't remember.
No,
we-
it was
we
taken
un-
care of.
Yeah.
Oh,
A little snafu with Al's face, and I point at it. You can kind of still see the pop marks.
Huh?
They can't see the pop mark. He's just fucking with you.
Al readjusts his eyes, and it looks exactly the same. It was already fine, but now you got him paranoid.
All right. Anyone else that's athleticing up, please do. Just don't roll sub 10. That's just gonna slow the group down.
I don't think it's going to be as slow as the kobold counterweight.
Okay.
Wait, you said don't roll sub 10?
Hey, don't roll sub down.
Don't port your roll to a below a
already
10.
did.
What was that?
Oh yeah, it's definitely below 10. 6.
Six.
That was what my dice was naturally. Wow.
Rock is struggling as you guys like start to like ascend, getting Davis, Karos, Dragnar bamfing up. Al, you're just flying up.
La-da-dee, la-da-da.
Hey, Al, you may need to help Rock. He's struggling down there. He's like a turtle out of water.
May need a shuttle.
Climbing is way harder than falling off things. I don't like this.
I'm gonna tell Loon, we must help our comrade in Infernal. So it's
What'd you say about my mama?
so I'm gonna get up to the shelf and send her down for a rock.
Okay. Loon swoops down. Rock lands next to you. Arr!
Does she still have viscera and blood around her mouth?
Al cleaned her. Prestidigitation.
She died a little bit, like DY, not DI.
I don't even care if you got blood on it. I got a free ride. Heck yeah, I'm jumping on.
All right. She starts and she's not used to the weight difference for a second. So flapping her rock. Okay, and then she gets it.
A little more than 100 pounds of Al.
Yeah. 500 pounds of rock. 300 pounds of Al. Take a second. But now she gets you up. And now that you've all made it to the shelf, you do see that, it's kind of how it's been when you guys were leaving, where some of the trees stop at this level and then more trees just seem to pick up and grow higher and higher. But you are on a, probably at the widest point, maybe about 80 feet wide shelf, or deep, I should say, before it runs back into the mountain proper, and more trees and vegetation begin to grow out of it. There's actually not too many roots and stuff on this portion of the shelf, making it fairly easy walking. And just by the slight break in the canopy, you're able to see out, and you actually do see proper sky and sunlight, kind of giving it little respite from the suffocating atmosphere that is the Stranglebark. Sej, you are being pulled along the mountain to the east.
I'm gonna go walking. Here we go.
All right. Anyone that is trained or proficient, still say that from time to time, it's really weird. Proficient in survival. Go ahead and give me a roll. Yeah, it's like what, years and years of playing? 3, 5, and stuff.
Yeah, it was the same in 4. They just changed it this edition.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
11.
I got a 6.
All right. Karos, you will pick up that you see heavy bipedal footsteps with drag marks along each side, representing the knuckles of the overextended limbs of those dragonoids. They definitely came this way.
They definitely came this way.
I guess
Would make
that's,
sense.
I guess that's a good sign for us that we want to go towards it. Well, you know where we're going, right?
I think it means that the dragon knows we're coming.
Okay.
As Tej,
Being good is depending on the outcome, right? And I'm just not stopping. I'm moving.
a little different having Tej lead the way, but he is marching forward.
Driven.
How far is it, buddy?
Would I be able to pull how far it is? Let me read.
Spell says you do. You know.
But it doesn't necessarily mean that he knows in
Yeah.
distance.
Yeah, it's not
He
like
knows-
it's exactly 3,000 feet.
Yeah,
You know how far it is and in what direction.
yeah. You have a sense that at this pace, if it's going to be the same type of terrain, 30 minutes east, maybe less.
It's gonna take. It's gonna just take a little bit. We're not far up from now. Not at all.
Awesome.
The sun will barely even move.
So, does it look like we're going? Does anything look familiar compared to when we came out the first time? Does it look like we're going back the way we came, or is this a separate path?
You can nature check if you want.
What was it? Nature, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sure. Not great. 5.
No, you no. I mean, it all kind of looked the same.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a bit more open, but
Plus, I was also, unconscious and not feeling great on the way out last time, so I don't remember.
Nope.
Very well. So as you guys continue traveling, the sun, as Sedge mentioned, won't really move too much in this rate.
I'll be like, well, so before we don't want to go in there. We want to rest up, right? Before we go in there, like maybe put up our dome and just before we go in, right?
Well, there was that.
should we
If
do
you
it here?
remember, there was that beautiful terrace, right where that cave was, where
Is
we
that where we're
slept
going?
that one night. I
mean,
not
none of this looks familiar to
sure
me, but I was in a
if
bad
that's
way last time.
exactly where we go in from here, because that's not how this works. But before we actually trek inside of the mountain, we shall maybe just before we go in.
Yeah.
That would probably be a better way to go. Once we find our way in, maybe we do it then.
Hey, where are all your little subjects?
I'm gonna
Are
look
they-
around for them.
Are they still following us? Like, did they come all the way up here?
You don't see them up here on the shelf, but Sedge, as you kind of like look down, you see ever so like some slight shifting and moving amongst the lower canopy below you.
They're
It's-
here. They're following.
I'll just
I'd
kinda,
almost rather they didn't.
I'll kind of just loudly
I'd rather
say, I'll be
not
like,
put them in danger.
guys, we're gonna make camp in a bit, and then don't follow us after that. I'd say, like, once we get up and go, just so you know, wherever you guys are.
You know they're probably gonna at least camp with us, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. That's fine. All the dragons are gone. Yeah, I guess we just keep going until we get just about there, and then we'll break for the night, and woo! I guess we can discuss plans, as much as we ever do.
I'd say once we get to like, Dragon knows we're here. Like, the dragon knows we're coming.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna come out and fight us. I think it
30
wants to fight
minutes
us in
out,
there.
though, to a dragon is nothing. Like, if we make camp, it could, like, see us here now. So,
I think it wants to
getting
fight us
closer
in his
even on the
lair.
outside?
Like that's its
Yeah,
place.
you're right. You're right.
If it comes out here, that's
Never mind.
kind of great. Although we'd be surprised, but you know.
True. Yep, let's keep going.
As you continue trekking together as a group on the shelf, I mean, the shelf is not necessarily a barren shelf. There are still shrubs and vegetation and a manner of other things, flora-wise, that get in your way. Even some boulders that have rolled down the Snoring Mountain at times. But you are able to trek together. Still, everywhere once in a while, Karos, you'll pick up tracks or signs that, yeah, those things definitely did come through here. They didn't cover their tracks probably at all, probably thinking that they were just gonna gank you guys. It's sloppy. From your professional opinion, it's sloppy.
Pathetic. It's pathetic. Really.
There you go. I can actually see. There you go. So, but you find eventually, Serge, you get to a point where you know you're on the right track. You know you're in the right area. The entrance is somewhere above you on the next, I'll call it shelf again because I don't know a better term for it. And you're at this point where, as you were walking east for the past 10 or so minutes, you've noticed that say how dense the vegetation is, the density of vegetation has definitely increased. There are exposed roots and vines just coming straight out of the mountain. Almost, if you could, the best way I could paint the picture is almost if you can imagine like there's a crack in the side of the mountain, and then all the green is just spilling out and flooding out from just like one little waterfall point, and then spilling out and creating this triangle park.
I'm going to look back and just point at it.
You gotta go up.
That's where we are to go. Do you want to break for here? While it's flat, I guess.
I would suggest we break in just right inside the cave, because out here we got the whole wide sky. If that thing flies over, we're not going to be able to see it until it's too late. At least in there, we got less, in my opinion, we got less area for it to come at us. It either comes from deep within the cave or comes in the cave from outside.
We should at least get an eye on what it looks like then.
Sure. You good for another climb? I think this one might be a
No,
little
but
bit
I'm
more
going
difficult.
to try.
I guess we can always just use Loon. I'm gonna climb though.
She's up for it. Yeah,
Loon
lift
Loon, if
Sesh?
you don't mind. And I just kind of like bow towards Loon Loon.
Did you guys want me to get up there and kind of check it out before we just all pop up over the edge?
Please.
Okay, while they're climbing up, I'll bamf up rather quickly, and then when I get to the top, I'm going to stealth.
Okay, about 15 seconds in, poof, poof, leap, climb. Go ahead and give me that stealth check.
23.
Nice.
Nice.
All right. Where are you heading?
I'm
What
just
do you-
checking the initial area around the shelf just in case there's something else here and waiting for an ambush, just in case there's more of the dragon things. And I'm going to stay within 20 to 30 feet of the shelf, but just kind of going out in an arcing pattern from the shelf towards the side of the mountain if I can.
So, kind of holding on to some of the vegetation that kind of spills over the side of the shelf. You kind of peek up. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Nice.
23 total. The light is starting to fade from the night sky, from the daytime sky, while twilight hours are coming soon, rapidly approaching. There's still. This is more kind of familiar to what you remembered. Again, it's basically like this one focal point where the dense vegetation is just spilling out like a leak that's never been stopped. And before you, as you kind of turn your head just for a moment and look out amongst the stranglebark, it basically, if you could imagine like a waterfall that created a forest, it's a waterfall that created the forest or the jungle below you. You're definitely in the right area. You're looking for signs of movement, and you see some, but it's like a lizard or a bird that flew, and then you notice that the moment the bird lands, it very quickly like seems uneasy and flies off. You see like little swarms of the biting insects off the side, just kind of buzzing around a stagnant pool of water that's collected among some of the roots. No sign of the dragonoids.
Okay, I'll maintain about 20 feet or less. I don't know how big the shelf is. But 20 feet from the edge or so, just kind of watching with my back towards them coming up over.
Okay. You hear the sounds of your companions climbing. You hear the heavy of Lun's wings. With the 23, you also hear... I'm not going to make y'all do athletics checks now, it's fine. But the first one was just to kind of pace it out. You're not sure where you hear it from. The names, Dragnor, there you go. But you hear a very faint grumbling sound, but you don't see anything. And you also don't feel like anything is watching you either.
Rumbling sound coming from the shelf inside the cave, up above us.
You don't see the cave yet, but you...
Okay, I then slowly make my way to the entrance of the cave.
Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Real quick, with Lunlun, I would let her know we're not gonna send her up until Drag gives the A-OK.
Okay.
19.
You make your way, and this is a much thinner shelf. This is maybe about 40 feet, as opposed to like the 80 feet. Keeping low, still being aware of your surroundings. You now beyond the sight of your friends as they're looking up. Like Dragnar's kind of gone over the shelf, the lip of the shelf, and onto the proper. Holding on to some of the vegetation, kind of staying low. Dragnar, you get up to essentially where the shelf meets the mountain once again, and there's just a spillage of vegetation. You can hear the low rumble grumble sound, and you're looking for the source, and you're kind of like pulling maybe some of the vines away and everything. But it seems like as you pull a vine away, there's another vine or another root or something. You know you're in the right area, but you can't seem to find the entrance.
Okay. I'll kind of step off to the side a little bit, putting like one of my shoulders against the actual mountain wall, That way, if I look back to the shelf, I can see them come up over. But if I look the other way, I can look to see if anything's coming outside the vegetation curtain, and just
Sure.
kind of prepping myself in case something happens.
Vegetation curtain. Nice way to put it. Right. It's been a little while, guys. You haven't seen Dragnar. He's just kind of. What are you guys doing?
Are we up? So if I started climbing, would I have already made it up?
Yeah, if you're not waiting, I'd
Yeah,
say.
as soon as he started going, I started going.
Good, and I would say just Karos and Davis probably being the strongest climbers. Y'all make it up. Ragnar, you hear them shuffling, their armor and their weapons moving around and all that.
I'll just say to Carson, like, where did he go? Do you see him? I thought he was supposed to wait up here for us. I guess.
20 don't see him. Yeah, neither you do.
He's sneaky.
When I kind of see him looking around, I'll pull my Soj out and kind of block it with my body, and try to see if I can catch the sunset in the blade.
That works.
Kind of, so they can see where I'm at.
Yeah. That little irritating glint, and then you both kind of look over and you see Dragnar. Hood up, kind of meshed in.
And when I do that, I'm going to kind of point to my ear and point inside. And then I kind of like put my hand like, come in slow.
I guess I'll thumbs up it. Start proceeding.
You see the thumbs up from below. You see Davis give the thumbs up from below Al and Sej and Lunu and Rock.
Okay. I'm gonna send Lulun up with, I think, Sej
Okay.
riding.
Yes.
Tell her go in Infernal.
Oh.
Yeah. Lunu gets up fairly easily, right? It's 6 seconds later, you're up there. She lands, ears up in attention, kind of dipping her head to make it easier for you to get off, Sej.
Yeah, and I get off quietly.
Go ahead and roll me a stealth check, Sej. Loon looks back to you, looks over the shelf, and then she almost crawls as far down as she can before she just lets gravity take her, and then she just kind of glides down.
12 total.
Fancy.
All right, full total. Noted. Go ahead and give me an insight check, Al.
Okay.
Or animal handling, whichever one you want. Technically not an animal, but whatever.
They're both terrible. 19 total.
And you know,
Sorry. I choose insight.
insight? Yeah. There's a definite unease to Loon. But she is, she's faithful and obedient. And she gets ready for the next passenger.
Okay. I'll notice and console her a bit. But then, yeah. Afterwards, I'll offer a rock. One's a bit steeper than the other one. Would you like another ride?
Please.
Okay. I like rides.
And as soon as everybody's up, I'm gonna start climbing just to get a feel for what they went through. But if Lumen gets back 18 seconds later, then I'll switch to that. But
Yeah.
just want to see how hard it was.
Al, it's a bit of a struggle. You see, there's plenty of handholds and foot, place. It's just okay.
I was just 2 feet taller, had more reach.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can do the climbing.
Yeah, and Loon you see her kind of lean over the edge, drop down. She kind of soars and then kind of plants her, paws into some of the vinage to kind of stop her. She looks at you, kind of half vertical, ready for you to jump on her back.
Give her a thumbs up, hop on.
Right.
Head up.
When she hops off, she actually hops off and you start to fall for a moment, and then her wings catch. And then she...
Moment of panic, but I trust her.
Yeah. and then all of you have made it to the source point. Says you feel a very strong tug in the density of the vegetation, but you don't necessarily see an entrance.
Once they're up there, I'll be like, I'm hearing something from inside, but I can't seem to get through the vegetation curtain.
What is it?
What
Very
kind
good
of?
call.
What do you
Well,
hear?
It
Just
pulls me
listen.
to it, so it's definitely in there. It
Well-
is, it's his.
Well, Sage, hold on a second. I want you guys to listen. There's like a heavy breathing, so I don't know if the dragon. It could be the dragon, like right on the other side of this. And I'm whispering this the entire time, Adam.
Anyone that wants to, as you're made aware, all of you are proficient in perception, so y'all can give me perception checks based on sound. Separate.
Based on sound?
Yeah. It is pointing out the sounds that you're
21.
23.
16 total.
El mismo que yo.
16 también.
No, 23.
23. Ah, así.
Alright, so let's see, where do we got? We got
Me and
Yeah,
Ragnar
that's
both got
both
23.
okay.
And
Drag-
Rocket at 21, I think, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is that it?
Okay, so Dregnar, Rock, and Dave, every one of you, not the ones that I mentioned, but all of you hear that little bit of like rumbling, echoing, grumbling sound. It's hard to make out. Those of you that are above the 20, so Rock. Sorry, Jones is going at my chair. Rock, Davis, and Dregnar. There is a pattern, a rhythm to it. Davis, for you, it's maybe akin to not breathing, but almost like the best thing that I can think from your past that you would recognize it is almost like a worksman chanting. When you're on the deck working and you have the crew kind of singing along.
Oh, okay.
Like there's a rhythm to it. Dregnar, it kind of like when a gathering of the students at the monastery would be in a meditative prayer. There's a synchrony to it. Rock, it kind of sounds to you like the chants of a ritual or something like you can't make out any. None of you can make out any words or anything. It's just the feel and the flow and the rhythm of the sound that's being heavily muffled and distorted by the dense curtain. Thank you for that. I couldn't think of a good word for it. Curtain of vegetation is walking.
Could we tell if it's, so at least with the info you gave me, does it sound like maybe multiple things in unison? Can I even glean that part, or is it really just the rhythmic part?
You're not sure about how many source points there are, like you can't make that out, but you would, in your mind, when you like close your eye for a moment to listen, like, block out everything.
Right.
There's that memory of working on, the large vessels that you did,
Right.
and it's that kind of relation where you would imagine that it's multiple sources creating this.
Okay.
But you can't confirm it. None of you roll higher. So.
If only we
I'm
had
gonna-
guidances. I'm just kidding.
I'm going to look at Rock and Al and Sej and go, Could it be magical chanting?
It sounds like it. To me, it sounds like they're preparing something.
Like a ritual, or it's kind of like when I do my stuff, but I'm not certain. Hey, would the chime work to disrupt? I don't remember how that works. That idea you have, Al. If you ring that, what does that do?
I think you have to be close enough to hear it. No, 60 feet. So it's about the same range as. It's not too far off.
Like that idea, but there's something going on with this vegetation. I couldn't get through it, so I don't know if the magic would go through it.
Is this the way we need to go, Sedge? Or is there like something up ahead?
Oh, most definitely. Right through this vegetation, we need to go through.
Oh shit.
That you couldn't get through it. Like,
And
was it alive?
I'll look it out and like, okay, watch. I'll grab a vine and I'll move it.
Is this another one of those puzzle things like those bookshelves in the forge? Rock,
Better
is this
not
something
be.
you can figure out? Like you did the bookshelf, like you knew which book to pull and blah blah blah. Like figure these vines out.
To quote a dear friend of mine, Alec Dragnar, and I kind of just run on dumb luck, and that was dumb luck. I don't know what I did there, but if it's magic, I can give me 10 minutes. I can cast detect magic and see if I see a source.
Can you feed the vines to your bag?
Organic. That's a fiber.
Plant
Vitamins.
spaghetti.
Yeah,
Spaghetti, yeah.
cut me off a vine.
No, I mean just like put the bag here and see how much it eats.
He doesn't chomp like that. You have to actually put it in his mouth.
I look down at my hand and go, no.
I ain't doing it. I've felt for that before. It sucked.
Like a big front, big, strong, tough fighters in the front line won't stick your hand in a bag, but I've had to stick my hand in twice.
Stick my hand in the bag, and it
Correction.
did not go well.
Karos will speak up. Correction. You have not had to stick your hand in the bag
Exactly.
any times. You have chosen to stick your hand in the bag several times.
I'm gonna part at the line like that's right.
But okay. I mean,
Okay, so
I just
Marb's not here, but I know he's saying spooky dark magic, so I'm gonna step off to the side and let the magic people do their thing.
yeah, I'll start.
I will hold on to somebody who sticks their hand in there to try to pull them out, but
I ain't doing it.
I learned through observation.
There's nothing we can get from the bag that will help us in this situation. And also, we owe the bag a dragon, and until we feed it a dragon, I don't want to put my hand in there.
Hold on. We?
I mean, I kind of agree with Rock on this one, actually. He did give us the thing that allowed us to find, well, I don't know if we found the way, because we're not there, but seemingly...
Val, can you explain to them all the mind-splitting headache and pain that we went through to get that?
I don't know how you talk to it under those circumstances. I never want to feel that again. The bag is powerful. The bag is all-knowing, maybe.
Wait, really?
Mind
I
you,
would be-
Rock, we almost
wouldn't be
lost our
surprised.
lives within that thing. Just want you to realize that. Almost all of us did. We were
True.
devoured by that thing. We had to get rescued by ourselves. It was
Yeah.
very close.
Why I'm not asking that name? Why are we talking about my bag? I patted a little. You're not feeding him anything. I'm doing my ritual.
Alright.
I turn my back.
Don't interrupt him. He's doing his thing. The bag's not in the equation anymore.
I just see. I'm sorry. I have to put this visual. Like I see this visual, like where the smile, because it looks like a bag of holding, like the smiling, grinning face, and Rock just takes the bag, flips it around, puts the face so it's facing inside, like on his hip, so you just see the back of the bag.
Yeah. And we're all doing this like in stage whispers because we're like trying to be quiet. We're like, stupid
Yeah.
bag is not the problem, guys. God.
Sorry, I had
We
to.
can agree that it's a problem.
You're the one who put your bag, goddamn hand in the bag in the first place.
about the damn bag!
Oh, I can't believe the bag has become something. Okay. So you're casting detect magic.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Sam. Right
Okay.
there.
As he's doing that, I'm just gonna poke through the vegetation, like basically do what Dragnar did before, try and see if I can kind of part it.
Yeah, like it feels like every time you part it, there just seems to be more vegetation, just kind of like falling into place. Like you just can't stop the loose vines, the roots, the anything. It just keeps like falling into place.
Eventually,
And-
within a couple
and we
minutes,
can-
I'll just shrug and look and be like, I don't know.
And Adam, we can't see through it, right? It's all vegetation.
You put your you're trying to look through some of it. You kind of find there's gaps, go darker on the interior, and you're looking through. And you're looking through, and you swear that it's either you do or it's your imagination. You do see through it, and it does.
Okay. I'm gonna try something then. I'm gonna be like, okay, while he's doing that, let's see if this works. When I see through it, I'm gonna bamp through.
Wait, what?
Put in there.
You see Dragnar's form, get that super saturated shadow effect, and he's gone.
Wasn't he the one who got pissed off about people doing this exact same shit, just doing stuff on their own? God damn it.
And then I'm gonna turn around and see if I can reach my hand through.
And the vines just start to kind of part out of the way.
Avis, I thought we were resting before this.
Grab my hand.
Do we see his hand?
Yeah.
Grab it.
I will slightly pull him through.
As you start to pull, the vines begin to kind of part out of the way. And then an opening kind of makes itself. And now you're kind of looking at it. You're like, yeah, there's an opening about the size of a
Karos?
little bit bigger, right, to accommodate.
The rock.
And some of that twilight, it's not quite twilight because there's still sunlight. Some of the sunlight starts to beam in. And let me. I don't necessarily know if I have your tokens all here. Give me a second. We've detected that there may be using unsupported systems on your browser. Blah blah. What?
Whoa.
You got hacked.
Oh,
DM's cheating.
damn.
Turn off your hacks next
Unsupported
time.
modules.
Clara!
No, he's just validating that sticky keyboard situation.
Goddragon.dll does not exist.
If you guys remembered in the previous time, once I switched you guys over to this. Oh, I don't have a Loon token here. Right, here we go. Grab a Loon token. Like I told you, space and everything is distorted, on the map itself.
I'm still seeing the Stranglebark map.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's performing. It's going super chunky, super slow. I think I might have to refresh Roll20. That might be what that message was. It's like, hey, we're struggling here. We're trying.
I'm struggling here.
Hey, we're struggling here.
What is up with us
Damn, struggling.
running into impenetrable waterfall things?
Hey, it's easy to do. It's not impenetrable. Alright, real quick. Flashback, Dragnar. As you're pulling Karos in, you remember when you guys were leaving that the vines shifted and closed behind you.
So it's easier to go out than in.
Probably part of the magic.
Are you guys able to see down here?
Yeah.
So,
Now,
just a
I
reminder.
will. Sorry, go.
Yeah, just a reminder. You guys, I don't know, I gotta look at the stream how much you see. Basically, what you see, right? Imagine that's stretched out for a very long time. Because remember, it's hey, this isn't gonna be many turns of walking. Just I didn't make an enormous map.
Well, I don't know if everybody come through with Karos because if that's not the case, because I know Danny said or David said he was staying, right?
Yeah, but then that opened up. So
Yeah, but I want to look at Karos and like we know how to get through. Do we want to proceed on or do we want to go back out and make camp?
I think let's scout ahead. If it gets too long, we'll give it. How long did it take me to wiggle through? Is it like 30 seconds or like a minute and a half?
Oh, no, not even that. Initially, it took a little bit. I would say about 20. Let's do an increment. 6. Sorry, like
18 to
18,
24.
24. Yeah.
I'll be like, let's go until there's a clearing or until like 5 or 10 minutes. Just because if it takes 5 to 10 minutes for just you and me to get through, it's gonna take 30 or more for everybody else to, if they're closing up behind after we keep going.
Got it.
Dregnar. Ooh-rah, ee-rah, ooh-rah, ee-rah. You hear? Nope, definitely chanting.
Yeah, that's chanting. So I say we stop right here, Karos, and figure out if we're all coming in or not. Because if we're all coming in, I can give us pass without trace, so we can kind of stealth in a little better.
It's probably a good route. As we look back, saying like as it got louder, presuming we like move forward like a couple more times, like how quickly is everything kind of filling in behind us as we move forward?
If it's just the two of you, the moment you got pulled through and you walked about a minute, it's in that minute's time, it's filled in.
Now,
All right.
so if you want to go back, I can kind of stay in this area. Since don't go through the curtain, just reach your hand through and tell them to all hold on. And then I'll kind of watch this area just in case someone decides to come while we're in a vulnerable situation.
Do a
Okay.
dynamic adjustment. I'm going to put actually a dynamic light just to make it where you would kind of just imagine.
And Adam, I'm assuming it didn't take more than 5 to 10 minutes for Carlos and I to get to this point where we're at right now.
Yeah.
Okay, I will go ahead and do pass without trace right now because it's an aura around me and it lasts for 1 hour. I'll spend the 2 key points.
Okay.
And then I'll roll stealth again while I'm waiting for Carlos to come back.
Cool.
All right. I'll start
28.
heading back.
28. All right. Let me mark your token. I remember. I guess I'll put it in the red so I have it somewhere for you. And Kara says you kind of see the curtain of vegetation, the fungus all around the floor, long forgotten leaves that have basically carpeted this area. You just kind of reach your hand through, and as you do, it just kind of starts to part out of your way. Whoever's paying attention to the curtain, see Kara.
Adam, did you put the 4 on my character?
A 4. Oh no, these are old existing tokens that were here. I don't know. Sorry, these were tokens that were already here. They're not copied over. Do I need to go back to the previous page?
Oh no, I'm just gonna put the 3 that were spent. And well, there's 3 spent for the free stuff, and yeah, and then I'll get rid of the 4.
All right, I'm putting the 28 as your stealth check, so I have it in orange.
And then I put like the little shadow dude on me, so you remember.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
oh yeah, and I got it.
As soon as Carlos's hand comes back there, I'll be like, guys, he's back.
Yeah, you see, the claw and the furred hand with his leather glove. Well, not gloves, but
Fingerless gloves.
Everyone is wearing fingerless gloves.
He wears fingerless gloves, actually, so appropriate.
The gloves of signing are fingerless?
Oh,
For
yeah.
him, they are. For him, they are. Yeah.
Nice.
He would his claws would cut through them. So they're fingerless.
That's how See, the gloves enable the power in the fingers, but for the brain waves to get out your fingertips, they've got to be fingerless. Otherwise, they just bounce off the inside of the gloves.
Yeah. Yeah. I was actually gonna. That's funny. We all thought of that exact same GIF. I just didn't even bother looking for it.
But he'll motion somebody come over, and then when somebody touches or grabs his hand, he'll kind of like pull his head closer so that he doesn't go all the way through. Dragnar's up ahead. The chanting got louder. We think whatever is doing it is right across the threshold of the vines. He's waiting there. We should be able to make it through. It's as long as you have somebody to kind of pull through, it's not so bad. It might be good to stop whatever's going on, or try to sneak past it if we don't think it's a threat now, rather than let them finish doing whatever they're doing.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Let's make a chain. Everybody hold hands.
Just like a kindergarten.
Don't lose your body now. I'll take the back of the chain and let Loon like bite my forearm for detail.
She's got the taste of blood.
Al, you start bleeding profusely. You're pretty sure you got some sort of infection.
Not again.
Rabies.
More like find greater tetanus. Heyo! Find greater rabies.
Oh, if it is rabies, I'll be more powerful in the next battle. Let's go.
It's true.
Hey.
Become a lichen.
Dispel rabies.
Very specific but necessary spell. Dispel rabies. All right, I'm just adjusting one thing real quick because you guys kind of
Dragon.
through something that was here previously got deleted. I'm just fixing it real quick. 25.
It's the amassed army of the dragon.
There we go. That's what I wanted. Oh, all right. So yeah, you guys are one by one pulled through. Dragnar, since you've been in here, you hear the repetitive kind of chanting. If you want to, since you've been here long enough, you can give me another perception check.
Okay.
While he does that, did Rock finish his detect magic ritual?
Nat 20, bitches! 26!
No, he wouldn't have had the time because he just right through.
Got it.
26, not 20. Is that what you said?
Yes, sir.
You are picking up points of light into the distance. Maybe like flickering torches, or maybe like even a brazier or something. There are points of light, though not sunlight, and off the.
Is it moving or is it stationary? I know flame moves, but I'm talking about, is it like, can you see it?
It's not approaching you or anything like that, or it's not in a patrol pattern or something.
Okay, so stationary, so a brazier or a sconce or something like that.
Yeah, which you don't recall previously there was anything like that. You hear the chanting in a language that you do not understand. You pick up the sound of objects being submerged in water or a liquid, because you hear like a splashing and a little splooshing sound.
Because I'm gonna try to see if I can cheese my 20 as much as possible here. Does it seem like the tempo is increasing, like it's going to a crescendo, because I know how some rituals, as you get closer and closer to the end, like the tempo will slowly increase. Can I tell that if that's going on?
There hasn't been a tempo shift. Not in the time that you've been listening.
Okay.
The other thing that you do hear is, while there are voices chanting in that language, there are hushed, like, roars, not like roars, but like, like grunts and growls that, since you've just recently encountered them, remind you of what you heard when you guys got ambushed. Kind of on that draconic but smaller kind of form, or scale, I would say. Do you have any other kind of perception questions? As I'm trying to think of things to give you with the Nat 20.
Does it seem like the sound is getting closer or further away, or is it stationary?
Stationary.
And is it reverberating from the north? I'm assuming the top of the map is north.
Yeah, I would say map north. Yeah, it's coming from map north.
Okay. Since I know that the waterway here connects to the main chamber, does it look like there's anything in there, something that's blocking the passageway through? Are there creatures waiting and hiding, anything like that?
I was gonna say you're not that far up. You haven't gone that far.
Okay.
Remember where, like, I would say, like, yeah, your characters know that there was that well that you were able to jump in and swim to the connecting pool. You know that that's probably up ahead. I mean, it should be up ahead, right? That's where it was.
Yeah, I'm not going up there.
Yeah. So.
At least not yet.
At least not yet. Yeah, because Dregnar, like, think about that, and he's like, I can't get on the rock for doing something, and you do the exact same thing. So I'm just gonna wait right here.
Okay.
I moved 2 foot, dude.
I mean, yes, true. You didn't go like talk to a sphinx and spend hours with it, but
I technically didn't leave the room we were in.
Technically, yes. So, yes, everyone that wishes to has made it through the vegetation curtain into the entry point, or the portal of the lair, which y'all have narrowly escaped with your lives once before. You wish to do?
I mean, I think I'm still casting a ritual. You guys all leave me behind?
I mean,
Oh, you should be done, because he said it took us 5 or 10 minutes to get here. So.
right.
Okay, am I done?
You're done after Kara starts pulling people in. The vines themselves and the vegetation is not magical, but they're influenced by magic. By the dragon's magic. It's a layer. It is layer magic. It is. Yeah, we're here. Magic.
Guys?
yeah.
Oh. Where'd everyone else go? I had my back turned because you guys made fun of my bag, so.
If I look at the don't see Rock, I'll reach my hand back out, be like, Rock, come on.
Oh, okay. There's nothing to see out here, I guess. Okay. And I took your hand, very confused.
Now, all of you that have crossed into the cavern now, the proper entrance, everyone that wasn't necessarily aware of the chant, now you hear it. And those of you who speak Draconic chant.
What are they saying? You might not even be able to give it to me because I'm just fresh with the language, so just...
Yeah, but it's gift of the scale, flesh to be changed, power to be granted, come protect. Gift of the scale. It just repeat over and over again.
Can you say that one more time? Gift of the scale.
Power to be granted.
Yeah.
A horde to protect.
Yeah.
Vermin to be extinguished.
Okay. Guys, whatever they're doing, we should probably stop or come back another day or something.
I don't know about come back another day. It sounds like an empowering ritual. I think they're giving it to the dragon itself.
Such, you can give me a religion check if you want.
But if I was just like, no, I don't want to.
That's fine. That's absolutely fine.
Well, I got a really good roll, so never mind. God, what is that? 27 total.
27 total?
Yeah.
Alright, Rock, can you repeat what I said? I want to hear it from you.
Gift of the scale, power to be granted, a horde to protect, vermin to extinguish.
One line was missed. Gift of the scale, flesh to be warped.
Oh.
Guys, remember it was missing that scale. Could they be trying to fix that?
It could be.
We don't want that to happen because it'll be stronger.
Flesh to be warped, though. Those strange draconids, they might be actively
could be making more of them.
transforming or becoming them.
Yeah.
We don't want that to happen either. So do we wait or do we go?
If we go, does that mean we're fighting the dragon too? I don't know.
Well, yeah.
Well, it's either fight the dragon with what he has now or fight the dragon tomorrow with twice as much. Oh, by the way, get closer, Loon.
Oh, here. I don't know if I've actually got control of this Loon. Let me.
I got it.
Okay, cool.
When I do that, I'll wave my flask at her.
Hey!
Is there
The
blood in it?
tempting. What's going on?
What? It's just water.
My blood flask.
Whoa.
All right. Yeah. Predicaments, pickles.
I mean, I'm
What are
good to fight, but
I like crashing parties, crashing rituals.
I mean, this is certainly better than last time. Like, I think we were super gassed last time. I know some of you guys have used some magic stuff that. But sorry, go
I
ahead.
used some things, but not too much. I was gonna ask the same thing you were prompting, is how rough was. I guess we haven't taken a short rest either, right?
No, because you guys continued moving immediately. After your encounter.
I could use a short rest.
I can.
But if we gotta go, we gotta go.
Yeah, if you guys give me 10 minutes, I can give a quick speech. Juice us up.
With the rest, I believe I can get my 6th level spell slot back, which would be kind of important, maybe.
Out of character. What did you use your 6th level? Oh, scatter. No, it's not scatter. Was it scatter? Okay, yeah.
It only works up to 5th level.
Does it? I thought it was half of. Actually,
Up to a
5th,
maximum
I think,
of level.
Okay, well I can get some spells back.
Yeah. Like, I'm just letting you know because there's, as currently as written in 5th edition, there's no way to get spell slots above 6th level back unless if you have like an artifact or something. I think.
So once per day, when you finish a short rest, you can choose expended spell slots to recover up to a combined level of 6. And none can be. Oh yeah, 6 level. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. That's the line I missed.
Yeah, that's fine. Yep.
Good to know for future.
Yep. 6th level
Well,
spells
Davis-
are pretty special.
Davis, I'm down for that because I'd get all my key points back. I'm running kind of low.
All right.
I can
begin-
recharge a couple of things.
I begin a respite.
All right. An eerie respite because the entire time you hear the chanting, Una Dregas.
Yeah, but some of the, like a lot of the time I'm like, get that out of your mind. Don't let that bother you. Like, if it let it into your mind only if it's gonna let you focus up for what's going ahead. But if it's bothering you, just block it out for a minute. We're gonna we're gonna focus up. We're gonna get ready. We're gonna get your shit together. Start preparing whatever you need to go. Get ready. Let's go.
Karos will use right before we start that. He'll use a psionic recovery or
Yep.
one point back.
Understood.
That's a short rest recharge.
Understood. And
I will let you guys know what my command style is once you decide.
Oh, what's my health too? I'll use a second wind also. Let's use all the short rest abilities.
I mean, 10-minute short rest. Depending on how you run your game, they can be very powerful. Some people are like, oh, short rests are useless. Other games are like, no, short rests are amazing.
But everything is a stage whisper. Can I do like the most muted Song of Rest? You can barely hear.
I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna take that away from you guys. You're just
Hell yeah.
like remember, there's nothing that says it needs to be of certain volume for it to affect. You know.
Must be at least 80 decibels. Like, no.
No.
Hey, any of you guys have a good idea to get back a 6th level spell slot?
What's-
Pray.
What's 6th level?
Divine
Divine
intervention.
Divine
Yeah,
exactly.
I think I'm actually going to try that. Why not?
Sure, Surya works in mysterious ways, right?
You could borrow mine, I guess. I don't know how that works. You can figure out how to. I don't know.
Wait, does that work? You guys are weird.
Just concentrate, Sash. Oh.
I still want to know what
Up,
6th
up.
level is.
Like,
I'll kind of sit down. It's like, well, there's a lot of meditation stuff with some of these cults, that people believe in, and so they get to certain levels, they unlock different things. It's
We're
We're
an
an
it's
established
usually
religion, not a cult.
it's tiered in like a pyramid shape usually. There's
Are,
like
are you gonna
trickle-down
take
effects.
that? She's calling your religion a cult.
Well,
It's
no, while
Scient-
he's
it's
while he's
Scientology.
while
I
he's
whispered
meditating, it's just kind of like.
I whispered my rejection of his statement, and he didn't stop talking. So
Okay. I just
you'll just have to take my sneering while I'm meditating.
I mean, it escalated. But, you guys could fight each other right before you fight this, and then,
I'm gonna roll a percentile dice and try to get my 6th level spell slot back.
Alright, you're 12th level, so you need to roll a 12 or lower. Wah, 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 wah.
You got this.
this. Roll D100.
If you wish, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why not? I don't know where my percentile is. So. Oh fuck!
almost.
Good luck next time.
It's like the opposite. She's just like,
Gosh.
just getting static. And she's like, Dash, I can't make out.
The room
Oh.
the room actively dims a little bit when you do that.
The room actually moved for a second because I just grabbed the wrong layer. There we go.
You know what it was? It was my pass without trace because it
Yeah, you
does
can't
say
see.
that it did. It does dim the light a little bit. Sorry.
Why will it not switch layers? There
I
we
don't know,
go.
but I'm getting a little bit of a whiplash here.
Yeah, sorry. I'm not trying to do that to you guys.
And I'm trying to meditate here. Wow.
All right.
Moving the ground. I'm trying to meditate.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
Saj, unfortunately, as your
Actually, I'm gonna change my command style. Sorry.
Oh shit. Sorry. Song of Rest. If anybody spent hit die to heal, you get an extra 6. I forgot if I rolled that or they rolled that.
yeah,
I
you
think I
roll it.
rolled
Yep.
Okay.
you roll.
Basically, partially so that everybody can now have 10 temporary hit points.
it. Ooh.
Okay. So you're getting extra attacks and
It's a lot of it's the 10 temp HP, but also the extra attacks since I have a weapon that might be super good against it. We'll see.
okay. So make sure everybody you add 10 temporary hit points to your sheet as during the respite. Davis.
What was the
Healing your. Is it 10 or is
half
it,
your warlord level plus your charisma?
it should be more than 10 now, right?
No,
Should be-
12 and 4, right?
So yeah, my charisma's 4. It would have been
right.
9 but the ASI bumped it up.
I forgot. I thought for some reason you had a 20 charisma.
Nope.
Got it. Alright, boys. What are you guys doing?
Are we done with the short rest?
You guys can mark off the short rest.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I will, during the short rest, I will say that I saw some flickering lights up ahead.
Oh God, you're here.
And I did hear some splashing. So I don't know if it's viable to go through the water or if I really want to. So we know that if we go out of game map north, if we go that way, we can loop back around. Do you want me to take point and you guys just stay within my pass
Shadowy.
without trace? Yeah, shadowy area.
Are we doing this, guys? Are we going? I know I just spent 10 minutes hyping you up to do this, but are we doing this?
So I don't know if it's the I'm game. I don't know if it's the big entrance or something after they notice us, but I do still have the chime, like Rock said. If it's one or many people trying to do that ritual, we can cut them off right off the bat.
I think that's a good idea.
But on that same note, Rock says don't do anything fancy until then, or you're gonna have a bad time too.
Now, would that break my pass without trace?
Yes.
It's
Concentration?
Yep.
It's not concentration.
Oh,
Isn't it?
Pass without trace should be concentration.
Yeah, it is. I'm sorry. I was thinking dark vision.
Yep.
yeah, but
It is
he's got lots of
also-
con.
It is also gonna break find the path, but I don't think
No,
we
it's
need
not.
it
It
much
won't.
anymore.
Well, no,
Materia.
materia version is not that, so you'll
Oh yeah, dude, I need to note that.
But
I should have made
Al,
it for you. I'm sorry.
Al,
Okay,
whenever
it's literally
you,
just the concentration.
Al, whenever you do that anyway, it's not like they're not going to know we're here.
Right. Because I'll
right,
hear.
right.
I was gonna say, let's
Get
we'll
around.
have, we'll have
Sorry.
Dragnar's scout. We'll assess the situation. If it's a a group we think we can take, not with a dragon, we can take him out. If it's a
Yeah.
big group with the dragon, we could ring the chime and try to get the fuck out and regroup, or go ahead. Like, if we see a dragon and like, I don't know, can I do sort of a mental calculation, do a rough estimate, give or take 10 people on how many voices I feel like we're hearing?
Sure.
I know that there's like echo and shit, but
Give me, well, guess we'll call it an investigation check for you.
Also, while you're doing that, my suggestion is we bring them back this way because it's a narrow area to fight if there's a lot of them.
Oh yeah, we love those.
yeah.
Remember the tower? Oof, that was awesome. Oh,
Just
Marv's not here. Fuck.
You tell that story the best.
I would say it's just hard to make out. Echoing through the chamber and the pathway, you know that barely a straight shot. If the layer has not changed, you know that this is just a tunnel that leads, and there should be that water well. So it's just voices echoing, and I mean, you've experienced that sometimes when magic and chanting gets implied, that the voices get altered as well. You can't really make out.
Yeah.
Am I scouting ahead without you guys, or are you guys coming with me as a group?
I think we should go as a group.
Can I
leave you in the lead?
maybe
Yeah.
do one quick retcon that I forgot to mention at the beginning of the respite? I would ask Rock and be like, hey, it'd be super handy if we could all talk to each other in the head space thing. Could we do that?
Yeah, I was waiting to mention that too. So
I just figured
yeah,
the 10-minute
absolutely.
respite would be a perfect time to do that.
yep. Yeah, is that okay, Adam?
That's just a ritual, right? So it'll be 11 minutes.
Yeah. Do I still get to heal and like get spells back?
You would not be resting in this time. You would be casting at this time. Not
Yeah.
restful.
So we would need another 10 minutes, guys, to do that.
What do you think, Ragnar?
What- Well, how much time do I have left on this pass without trace? It's an hour total.
Probably about 10 minutes if that's going to be the case, right?
10 minutes after Rock casts a spell?
At best, yeah.
Yeah, we should be all right. Worst case scenario is if it drops, I'll do it again.
So, guys, if Owl rings that chime, we're just booking it, right? Like, that's our get the fuck out.
At least come back to this area if we decide to fight.
Right, okay. Got it.
Okay.
So,
Say that the
Or-
token was able to pass and everything. I'm not gonna. And you are all bonded telepathically.
of course, we will be moving slower because we're stealthy.
Yes, because you do not have means to move at regular pace. And
Man,
Oh.
I can only move at 32 and a half feet. Damn it.
Jesus.
so, as you guys are moving and creeping forward, roughly position your tokens how you wish to be in the pass without the trace, and then I need all of you to roll me stealth checks with a plus 10 on top of it.
One kind of nice thing
Not
about
20, bitches!
one kind of nice thing about
Yeah.
this armor is that it doesn't impose disadvantage on stealth.
Oh hell yeah, nice.
Oh fuck. Went right off my
Oh.
desk.
Oh boy.
Plus 10, plus 10. Don't forget plus 10.
Oh, thank God. Well, still only 14 total.
Oh gosh.
Can I give him a few of my points, Adam?
This ground is really crunchy over here.
Yep.
Stealth is-
16 total.
Is that Karos holding his breath?
Yes.
Yeah.
30.
Damn, Al, I just don't fucking get it. I don't get it.
Rolled a 10.
You rolled it. Oh, wait, you get plus 10, but still.
Mm-hmm. Loon got a 10 as well.
Al and I disappear.
Jesus.
So
But
I
he's in
need.
fucking plate armor.
No. Not plate.
Or no, what is it, scale? No.
Scale.
Half-
Probably would have a lot of noise too.
Yeah, it's definitely.
It's only 4,000 pieces, you know?
God.
But hey, feats and everything, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sesh, and I need your stuff. Or is it outside?
It was 16 total.
16. So we got
That's
a
with the
14,
plus
a
10?
6.
Yes, with plus 10.
Yikes.
It was bad.
Okay. Alright, Dragnar. You are leading the way. The group is moving with you.
I will make sure. I'm going to continuously kind of go that way, trying to choose the best path possible. So hopefully, because I know they're not as stealthy. But making sure that I don't move too quick to get them out of this sphere, because I know I have to pull myself back for them.
Alright. Very well. As you're taking your steps forward, moving slowly, go ahead and move your token. I want to see if the wall is still in place. Go about 4 spaces forward, Dragnar. Yeah, I see the wall. Perfect. Okay, cool. All right. So you guys can move as far up as you wish, up to where Dragnar is, and that's basically the wall. That means that it's warped space for the sake of the map. AKA the next part is coming up. So as you guys prepare for it, I'll go ahead and just throw people into the freaking bubble because they're too lazy to move their tokens.
Move your tokens, guys.
Oh,
Fuck.
sorry.
Watch Pebble leading the way.
Ooh.
because
Why-
Pebble is the bravest of all of you.
Why is it?
Oh, hold on. Pebble needs a stealth check.
Oh, well, yeah, probably.
No, it does. That's true. Loon's already got one.
Yep. Pebble, roll. I don't think you get a bonus.
Yes, it does.
I mean, her
It's
dex at the very least.
plus 10.
Plus 10 too, yeah.
Yeah. So would you add Dex? Because that would be a +3.
Yep.
But probably not
Ooh.
proficiency.
27.
Oh shit, nice.
Nice.
Assuming she gets the +10 too, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pebble's looking at Rock like, come on.
Shut the fuck up.
You're not so stealthy with those feet things. God.
Could you tell that stick was gonna crunch, you idiot?
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Dragging out Aller looking at everyone like, fuck, they're loud.
Okay. So, as you guys are approaching, getting closer and closer, you see the few points of light. Gonna make y'all roll perceptions because, again, some of y'all pick it up that there are two figures dressed in kind of close to what you would kind of consider robes, not necessarily like tattered pieces of clothing and fabric or nude like the previous Draconoids were that you saw. They actually have like stylized mantles that adorn their shoulders, and they wear very sleek, kind of normalized garb in the form of almost like a robe. They have their heads and necks are kind of elongated and almost in serpentine, ending into like a pointed snout. Scales cover their face. Eyes are, of the dragon variety, so yellow with the slitted pupils. As you've been approaching and you've been in this space for long enough, there is a very strong scent of blood in the air. And it's coming from before you. The chanting continues, and even with your goddamn shitty rolls on stealth for some of you, they don't seem to notice what's happening. And Dregnar, as you're listening for that splashing, you're seeing, as they continue the chant, that you see a long arm stretched out, elongated claws, green of scale, grabbing the side of the little well before you, and they begin to pull themselves up as you see more of the dragonoid warriors emerging. Let me go ahead and go to remove this wall if it lets me select it.
Hey, this
Okay.
arrow, I remember this.
And then let's go to PM layer. So the 2 points of light are going to be these guys, if I can get them on the right layer. Come on.
Hey, buddies.
And you see a number of humanoid figures beginning to pull themselves out of the water. And as they emerge, they are that warped flesh into draconoid form. You also see, which I freaking forgot to put on this map, you see a number of greed rots that are bound and held in place. Many they have little cuts and nicks all along their arms, their chests, their necks, their face. The most grotesque part of it is where they naturally have no eyes because they've lost them from being in there. It seems to be like a slit on each has been made, almost representing the dragon's eye, and you see one of the two that have the mantles and doing the chanting start to just shove them into the water, and you hear the splash and the splash. And the chanting continues. And I think that we'll take a quick break.